Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, March 4th, and spring break is right around the corner. Now, don't get that wrong, it's a big corner. It's a long corner. We have the rest of this week and all of next week. But we've officially reached that time period where in the hallway, when you're passing your coworker, they're like, 9 days and 1 hour. The countdown to spring break has begun. But that being said, I think we're all feeling tired. And when I say we, I mean the teachers, the students, the families, and I need to change things up. I feel like I just said that not that long ago, but truly this is the time of year where in order to keep students engaged and in order to keep myself engaged as a teacher, I just need new things to be excited about. So today I'm gonna share with you some of my favorite activities for this time of the year. That's going to include behavior management strategies, games that you can play, and just little easy but engaging activities you can incorporate into your instruction without doing too much work. Because again, we're tired, y'all. I know I talked about this back in the fall, but for fall break, we had a full week, which I was not used to because I had never had a full week for fall break before. And spring break is a very similar experience for me. I have never had a full week for spring break. Typically, our spring break back in Maryland would fall around Easter weekend and we would get a Friday off and a Monday. So it really was just a long 4-day weekend, but that was our spring break. Whereas now, I get a full week and it's in March, and that feels really early, but at the same time, I think because we started so much earlier, I can tell we're that much closer to the end of the school year, and so the timing actually works out really well. But as I mentioned at the beginning, it's that time of year because we're all anticipating spring break. We're dragging a little, you know, we're tired, we're all anticipating having a break. And rather than just accepting that for what it is, I want to do little things to just change it up to make myself excited to teach for the next week and a half, make my students excited and anticipate coming to school rather than just check it out. Plus, one of the things you should know about me is I have this weird hobby where I love to just walk around stores, whether it's a grocery store, the dollar store, Target, Walmart, and just look for ideas for teaching. I will just see something, go, oh, I can use that for this. And it brings me a lot of joy. It's something that I really love doing. So I'm gonna share some of the things that I recently picked up while walking around Dollar Tree and H-E-B, which is our local grocery store, and then how I plan on using it leading into spring break to keep my students engaged. And before I start showing you the items, I will just throw out there, I have put as many of these onto an Amazon wish list as possible. I just called it my 2024-2025 engagement materials list. A lot of these things I got, like I mentioned, at H-E-B, which is our local grocery store, or Dollar Tree, but I have found very similar items on Amazon and linked them for you that way. If you're interested, you can go grab them. One of the first things I found that I just thought was too cute to pass up was this little stuffed animal Peep. Now it has little beans at the bottom, but my thought was, this can be Pass the Peep, which is essentially hot potato. So I play some music, we toss it around. When the music stops, whoever is holding it either answers that question, or I could give them the power and they get to choose which student has to answer the question. Plus, I also saw these in different colors and they had smaller versions that were the little bunnies, and I found those on Amazon. You could have different colored ones all being thrown around at once, and then depending on the color that they have, they could answer a different question or do a different step of the problem. You get the point. But it could also be as simple as, I don't have music playing, I'm just tossing this back and forth when students are participating. And it's something simple like that, where they get excited because they want to catch the Peep, so then they start participating. And rather than just calling on students, I'm tossing them the Peep, and it's going to keep them more engaged. So it's easy, but it was too cute, I had to get it. And that's how I plan on using it. And then because it is March, it is the perfect time for Trashketball. So March, typically here in the US, is known for March Madness, which is a basketball tournament that happens every year.
I don't know. I might just be a basketball machine.
But y'all know I've been playing Trashketball with my students as a review game for years and years and years. If you're not familiar with it, it's super simple. You just need a set of questions that students will answer, some kind of a trash can, which you can just use your classroom trash can, or you can get fancy and get one of the trash cans that looks like a basketball hoop. This one is on that Amazon list and I have it linked for you down below. And then some kind of a ball. Now, the ball can be a balled up piece of paper, it can be a balled up pair of socks, or you can use little mini basketballs. I have several different ones that I've collected over the years from party stores and the dollar store, but you can also get packs of little mini basketballs on Amazon. I like to have one per group. And again, I've accumulated them over the years, but if I'm gonna play with 6 groups of students, I like to have 6 balls. That way, my students are on teams, they answer a question, they raise their hand for me to check. Once I have confirmed that they are correct or incorrect, if they are correct, they get a point, and they get to come get a ball and get in line to shoot for a bonus point. If they are incorrect, they don't get the point, but they also don't lose any points. So it's an incentive for students to try their hardest because they want to make the basketball shot. Now, of course, you can change the rules, adapt them to fit however you would like, but I'm actually playing Trashketball with my class today because we are reviewing for our math assessment tomorrow. And my students love it because we only play to review for assessments, so it's not a super often activity and therefore it's new and novel to them. But if you are new to Trashketball, this is the time of year to go to the store because you can find little mini kind of Easter baskets that look like basketball hoops. I got these from Dollar Tree. They also had other sports ones. They had like a football one and a soccer one. So you could even adapt this game to work for other things. But I went ahead and picked up some of these so that I could have my students play in groups and each group could have their own basket. And that way I could even let them kind of set the difficulty. Where do they want to put the basket? How far away do they want to be when they shoot? But I grabbed 5 of them so I could technically have my students work in 5 groups. They can each have their own basket. But my brain started then getting on a roll and I thought about it. I could actually set all of these out almost like a triangle kind of shape. And I could put like a sticky note at the bottom with different points. And depending on when they throw it, which one it lands in, they could earn different amounts of bonus points. I can put things on the bottom. They could throw it and have to answer the question based on the bottom. I feel like there are just so many options with this. So I'm happy that I picked these up. I think today we're gonna play standard Trashketball, but next week we will review for a science test and then I'm gonna introduce one of those other variations just to keep it fresh and exciting. But I thought I would share because this is the time of year if you wanna go grab them, go get them. One last note on Trashketball before we move on. I mentioned you just need a set of questions, so you can use this for any subject area, any grade level. It's very adaptable, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can put the questions under the document camera and be good to go. But if you are interested in a template that kind of matches the theme, I do have a set of templates in my TPT store for Google Slides and PowerPoint. It includes both of them, and it has templates for 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 questions. Super easy to use. I have been using it, like I said, for years. And all I have to do is type in the questions, put in the answer, and I'm good to go. So if you're interested in that, I will link it for you down in the description box. Y'all, it just started pouring down rain, and it's pitch black outside because it's still 6 o'clock in the morning. Whew, it's gonna be a day. But kind of going off of that basketball theme with March Madness, you can also do a variety of brackets. Now, I've seen these done online in so many different ways. I think one of the first ways I saw it years ago was with books. And so you could read various books with your class for the month of March, like picture books, or maybe taking all the chapter books that you've read thus far that year, you put them onto a bracket. And I'm now realizing I forgot to print one out as an example. That's okay, I will insert pictures over here. So I have put together some different bracket templates in a Google Slides. I will link the editable template for you down below. You can go in and customize it however you want. It includes a few different options. But you can take books and have the battle of the books where students are deciding which one should move on. That could be a fun activity that you kind of do over the course of several weeks. But of course, you can just use this bracket for like a fun morning meeting activity. I know over the summer, I think it was at my Gifted and Talented training, we did an activity where as a group, we had to come up with some kind of a category and create a bracket for it. So we did fast food burgers, and we listed out a bunch of places you could get fast food burgers, and then we battled them, and we ended up choosing like the top tier one. So that's something you can just do for fun with your class as like morning meeting activities. You can even have it go throughout the week, like round 1 is on Monday, round 2 is on Tuesday. And it's just something fun that your students can look forward to. Of course, you can then adapt it for academics. I mentioned the books, but I've also seen a lot of teachers do like a March Mathness, and again, it can be done a lot of different ways. You could even pair it with Trashketball. So you could have where students have to battle each other in order to move on the bracket. So each student individually could start on the outside. Then they're gonna battle against another student. You display a question. Once they answer it correctly, they start shooting. So the other student is still trying to answer it. It's whoever makes the basket first that moves on. So that way, just because one student gets it right, they don't automatically move on. They have to shoot the basket. Then whoever doesn't move on, that student could then buddy up with the student who did move on. So that student who got the basket, they will then be the shooter, but the two of them can work together on the question. So you can make the questions get progressively harder. The students will go from working individually to partners to groups of 4 to groups of 8, depending on your class size, and they can kind of move through the tournament bracket. And again, you compare that with any set of questions, any subject area. But you could also I started thinking about how we're gonna go into measurements, and we're focusing on the customary system of measurements. But I could have a bracket with different measurement units and whatnot, and they have to compare them and find out which one is greater. And so as they go, they're gonna compare different measurement units. And I don't even have to create that, right? I can have my students each choose a measurement. We can put it on the bracket and then battle them. So just a few different ideas for ways that you can use like a tournament bracket over the next few weeks, just to keep things interesting, fun, and engaging. Now for behavior management, I'm gonna bring back an incentive system that I used when I first started teaching, so it feels very nostalgic for me, but I call this the Golden Egg Award. Now, this is going to replace my Golden Emerson Award. Typically, each week, one student gets chosen from my class to be the Golden Emerson. They get a trophy and rock candy, and we have a lunch bunch and all of that. They keep it throughout the week and pass it on to the next student. Now, at this point, everyone in the class has had the Golden Emerson at least once, and we've started going through and awarding it a second time. So next week, just to keep things kind of novel and fun and exciting, I'm gonna introduce the Golden Egg Award. So this is gonna be 1 week only, and rather than one student keeping it for the entire week, a different student will get it every day. And I'm gonna do it in both of my classes. So my homeroom class as well as my switch class, because I feel bad. My switch class doesn't get to do the Golden Emerson, so this will give them just a little taste of it. Now, this is just a plastic golden egg. Technically, this one is 10 years old. I got this my second year of teaching, and I think I got it from Walmart or Target at the time. But you can find similar golden eggs. When I went to Dollar Tree, they had small ones, and those would be cute if you wanted students to actually keep the egg. You can fill it with little treats and they get to keep the entire thing. Or if you want to reuse the egg, like I plan on reusing this egg all week, you can get a bigger one. And I even saw packs of some of the larger like gold eggs. Y'all, I even went to H-E-B and they had a massive like gold glittery egg. It was $8. I was not spending that. So I'm just reusing the one that I have from 10 years ago. I think it's a 6-inch size, and I have linked a similar one on Amazon. Now, in order for it to stand up and for it to sit on student desks, I just have a little plastic cup, and that's what it's gonna sit in. Nothing fancy. But when a student gets awarded the golden egg, they're gonna get this certificate. Now, I created this in Canva. If you wanna use it, I have it as an editable template. I will link it for you down in the description box. It just says, golden egg, you have been working, I was so proud of myself. You have been working extremely hard. Your focus has been extra good, and your behavior has been excellent. You're a very proud teacher. So when they get the golden egg, they will come in that morning because they're not gonna know who it's going to. They'll come into school, it'll be on that student's desk, they'll have their certificate, and then inside of the egg will be some little treats. Now, I know I went overboard, it's who I am, just accept it. But I walked around Dollar Tree and I walked around H-E-B, our grocery store, and just picked up some little kind of spring-themed trinkets and treats that I could put inside of the egg. Now, I don't know if these are gonna fit. I think in my head I thought they would, but now I don't think they will. But regardless, I'm gonna have to go back anyway because I accidentally got 2 packs of pencils and 1 pack of crayons. But these are little like stackable pencils, so each tip, when it gets dull, you just take that piece and put it in the end and there's a new one underneath. I always loved those as a kid. So I got 1 of those for each student. Again, if I'm gonna do this over the course of 5 days for both my classes, I needed 10 of each different item. I also got at H-E-B these little carrot highlighters. How cute are these? I saw them and I was like, I don't even care how much they cost. I want them. They are so adorable. So they'll each get a highlighter. If I can find more of these little mini erasers at Dollar Tree, they'll each get an eraser. This is an 8-pack, so it's not enough, but they only had 1. So I'm gonna see if I can track down another one. But once again, they were just so adorable. We have, we're on a roll. Sorry, I'm really cracking it up here. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the egg puns, I swear.
That's a pun. Got it.
I got these little Peeps lollipops and they're marshmallow flavored, but they do not contain gelatin. So I also got Hershey's little chocolate bunnies, which once again, like they don't contain egg or peanuts or any of like the major allergies. So that way they get a little bit of treats, like consumable treats. They have some kind of school supplies type things. They'll get the certificate so they have something to take home. And as I mentioned, I plan on reusing the egg throughout the week. So I can't let them keep my egg from 10 years ago. It's nostalgic. But for now, I need to clean up and put this all away because my students, they know that we're doing something next week different, but they don't know the details. I kind of teased it so that way they would have to anticipate all week. I said, on Friday, you'll find out. And it'll be a little tricky because I'm not gonna be here on Monday. Well, I will be here. I have a planning day, so I will have a substitute, which means the very first day of the golden egg, I will not be here with them, but it's okay. I will explain it to them on Friday so they'll know, like when you come in on Monday, you're gonna see who it went to. But for now, I gotta hide this so that they don't find out what we're doing until then. Another just quick, easy thing that I plan on doing later this week and next week is incorporating some digital activities. So I have templates for digital mystery puzzles, which a digital mystery puzzle is just a Google form where students answer questions. They have to answer the question correctly based on your answer key to move on, but each time they earn a puzzle piece in like a digital puzzle, and it has an animated like GIF behind it that fits the theme of the month. And they incorporate, I think I have 5 different images for each month, and then 3 different puzzle options. So you can do a 9-piece puzzle, a 16-piece puzzle, or a 25-piece puzzle. So depending on the number of questions. So I plan on doing some of those, especially in like math with just some quick practice. Then we're also gonna do a digital escape room. And for the month of March, I have one that's Escape the Leprechaun's Trap. And I love the digital escape room templates because they're so low prep. All you have to do is type in your tasks, which are your questions and the answers, but the rest of it is set up for you. I've done the storyline, I've done the animation, I've set up the form to work the right way. So once you put in tasks, it forces students to complete that task to move on to the next part of the digital escape room. So we will be completing that before spring break, but I love that those are just kind of little things I can sprinkle here or there when I look at the lessons that day and there's just not that much going on that's overly engaging. And then the final thing, and this is a work in progress, but again, I just see things, I get ideas. At H-E-B, I found these little foam carrots and they're just too cute. Now, I did go on Amazon. I actually found these same ones on Amazon. I think it was like Fun Express was the brand or something like that. Yeah, that's not what this says, but I found these exact ones on Amazon. My thought is I can get little flower pots and either label them with questions or with numbers or with points or something, and they throw the carrots, and depending on what flower pot it lands in, we'll incorporate that in an activity. It's a work in progress, but I just feel like it's something easy that I can do to just make it that much more fun. And that's what the name of the game is right now. Like, that's what I'm trying to do, is just find little ways to engage my students, to keep them, I don't want to say occupied, but engaged is the best word. I want to keep them interested in what we're learning, but at the same time, acknowledge that we're all a little tired and we're all a little done kind of doing the same thing day after day. So that is my plan for the rest of this week and next week. I will continue to vlog and keep you updated, let you know how it goes, any changes that I make, things that went well, things that I would change. I will be sure to let you know. But for now, if you enjoyed this vlog, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. If you have any ideas, leave them down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I know everyone else would as well. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and in this case, rain boots, because it is still pouring down rain. And I will catch you in the next one.